Hello everybody. The Warriors pulled out a thrilling, buzzer-beating victory against the Rockets to wrap up a pretty sloppy game, and Steph Curry hit his first official game-winning buzzer beater.
It's about time I made one. That's the first one!
Now you might think, that's a little weird. Doesn't it seem like Steph has hit game-winning shots before? And the answer is yes. He's hit plenty of game-winning shots at the very end of the game, but technically, none of them have come right at the buzzer. So occasionally you'll run into someone citing this as a stat, trying to show that Steph is basically very unclutch or lucky or whatever, but it's just a fluke, right? So anyway, Steph managed to check off another box in his career resume. As for the last play of the game, it's actually kind of interesting. To really get some context for this, we got to go back 24 hours. By an amazing coincidence, the Warriors had the ball with 5.1 seconds left at the exact same spot, tied, and this is the play that they ran the previous game. This is a very horns formation, elbows, people at the corners, and this play is going to have Klay running across the stagger screen across the top, and I don't know, that seems like it's the main option. And to be honest, it's a little mysterious why the pass didn't go to Klay. So Klay gets one screen right off the bat, and he's actually now completely open. In the background over here, Steph and Andrew Wiggins are doing some kind of ring around the rosy screening for each other, and it looks like Andre is looking at that. So this is a play that's maybe too complicated for its own good. Klay continues to be completely open on this side. Steph is going to try to pop out, but this defender is going to pick him up. And this switching is going to mean that because Steph started over here on the far side from the ball, the defender can constantly face guard him and make sure the ball doesn't get to Steph. Klay, I don't think he's open anymore. This defender's onto it and would intercept this pass, but Klay was open for a lot of this play. And so at this point, the only person who's really open, Juan Toscano-Anderson, and so Andre's just going to pass it to him. Klay threatens to come up and get a dribble handoff from our guy Juanito, but this Pacer defender is completely top blocking Klay and stopping him from coming up. So Klay goes back door on him. So in fact, Klay's open again on this play. Juan actually gets by his man. Klay is free to the basket, so if Juan can just recognize this, a little bounce pass, then Klay can have a layup. But it's just too chaotic and Juan doesn't recognize it in time. Goes for the layup and misses. I don't completely remember what happened after this point in the game. I just remember a big bright light. So the Warriors are going to get another chance 24 hours later in the exact same moment. 5.1 seconds left, tie game, inbounding from the same spot. And so they're going to keep almost the same formation. There's going to be elbow, elbow, but they're going to take the Klay figure, he'll be replaced by Damian Lee, and they're going to move him from here to right over here. And then they're going to take Wiggins and put him down low over here. So it's almost the same formation. So let's come back to this evening, and you can see that there's the two elbows, but this Klay moved up over here, and Wiggins moved from over here to this side.
The last play, we just try to keep it simple. We had Wiggs on our option, he didn't get the ball, so with 5 seconds you can get to space, take your time, and then we got great space, so I got to my spot.
This play is going to start similarly. So you have the person who was Klay last time going across the top with something like a screen here and a definite screen here. But there's going to be two differences. Now Wiggins is the only one on the bottom half of the court, so he can try to make something happen against one defender. And secondly, Steph is here on the right elbow where Juan Toscano-Anderson was. And that means that if the play goes south, then you can get the ball to Steph. It looks to me that Houston showed some good defense here. You see Jae'Sean Tate here pointing and talking to Kenyon Martin Jr. Tate seems very aware of the possibility that Wiggins might try some backdoor tomfoolery, and he's making all kinds of hand motions, and I think he's just saying you gotta watch out for Wiggins backdooring. So anyway, he's very alert. Wiggins cuts one way, goes backdoor, covered completely. Okay, so now the Wiggins option is covered. Damian Lee is at this point clearing out. Jordan Poole, that 45-degree cut, clearing out. Now we have just Steph and his defender. Now you might think, why didn't they front Steph? Well, when would he have fronted Steph? It would probably have to be right at the beginning of the play. And so if he fronted Steph right here, because of the way the Warriors cleared out this bottom part and Wiggins is cutting this way, that draws the defender this way. So Steph would have a free shot to the basket and Porter could throw it over the top. So this defender can't be the one fronting Steph. You might say, why didn't Christian Wood over here step back and front Steph? And I'd say, that's a good question. That seems like a pretty good defense to me, but he didn't. So that means Steph is free to pop out to the ball and get it, unlike the previous night. The previous night, you may remember, Steph ran hard and ended up like 3/4 the way down the court. So that can't be a good setup. So this time they keep it simple. They run this little option to Wiggins, and when that doesn't work, people clear out. Steph comes and gets the ball. Kevin Porter Jr. has no chance on this kind of move because Steph can definitely turn the corner on him. And so he does have to respect Steph's drive, and then Steph does a little Steph back, and you just have to hope he misses. Which he did not. He did hit the shot. Here's a nice alternate angle. Steph sweeps through. Kevin Porter Jr. throws his head back, a little micro flop, but he didn't sell it. You know, he had to fall to the ground like Rocky, like Corey Joseph did in the Oscar-winning performance from a couple games ago. So, sorry, Kevin Porter Jr., you just had too much dignity and decency to not do that. Nice shot, and then now Steph has to decide where he's going to go. He turns, he heads to the bench. The first person he sees is Gary Payton II, and I don't know if you remember this, but like there's a history of Steph body bumping Gary Payton into pieces. Like he basically dismembers Gary Payton II every time they body bump. So I think Steph says, this is a happy occasion. I'm not going to vaporize my teammate today. And so GP2 knows what time it is. He's completely ready to bounce into this, but Steph says, no, not today. I don't choose violence today. And he swerves out of the way. Then we got lots of other teammates coming to greet him, and Steph said, this is kind of a lot of traffic. I don't know if I can handle this. I'm going to just get around this whole thing, and I see the exit over here. And Steph has hit the shot, and he looks like he just wants to leave. It's been a pretty frustrating 3 weeks, and Steph is pretty happy, and it's kind of reminiscent of that Utah buzzer beater he hit. He hit the buzzer beater, and he just evacuated. He's like, peace out, I'm gone. Let's go celebrate in the locker room. So Steph tries to just dodge the crowd and head out the side exit. So here's the problem. Steph turned the corner. He got around Klay Thompson. I think this is Chioza. I think this is Bjelica, Kuminga. And he just splits the quadruple team. But there was help defense rotating from the blind side over here. And it's bang. This is the immovable defender. It is Raymond Ritter, the PR director for the Warriors, and Ritter has got this guy backing him up in case Steph tries to run over Ritter. So that's just team defense. And Steph's saying, hey man, I just want to run down the hallway and celebrate. And Ritter's saying, you shall not pass. You're going to do a post-game interview with CSN Bay Area. And so Steph says, all right, fine. I can't fight the man. He turns around, and now the rest of the team is caught up. Poole with the wacky face. Jordan Poole specializing in his completely frozen face celebration. Klay showing some great instincts. He's not even active tonight, and he somehow manages to get in the middle of this celebration. I'm pretty concerned about the state of Jordan Poole's face. This definitely looks stuck. I know there are medical professionals who can, it's kind of like Botox gone wrong.